Up to 20 years in prison, down the drain. Today we're diving into the latest on Gavin McKenna, Penn State University folk hero at this point, I guess, as well as projected first overall pick in the 2026 NHL Entry Draft. Now, if you had been following the channel, you'd been seeing the videos that we've made, you would have seen all the conversation about McKenna and his situation over the weekend. The fact that he was charged with an aggravated assault felony after going out there and clocking a guy just outside of a local restaurant after hearsay suggested that said guy was going after McKenna's mom. And I'm just going to add that little detail at the end because I think it really did change a lot of how people perceived the situation. And we saw in our video yesterday as well, should the Canucks draft Gavin McKenna now? It seemed like even more folks were on board with the idea of taking this guy, which is very intriguing, especially when you look at how the conversation was kind of flipped from a few weeks ago with Ivar Stenberg at the World Juniors. Anyways, we have ourselves an update on Gavin McKenna, a guy who could have, that's the key word there, he could have faced up to 20 years in prison, but that's only if a very few specific set of factors actually came true. Here's the latest, posted by 6 News, WJAC TV on Twitter. Breaking update. Prosecutors in Centre County say they will be withdrawing the felony aggravated assault charge against Penn State star hockey player Gavin McKenna. And the graphic goes out there and says the same thing. Prosecutors are withdrawing the felony charge against McKenna. Let's go to the article on WJAC.com. I'm going to leave a link in the description to this article if you want to read it yourself. Prosecutors to withdraw felony charge against Gavin McKenna, and then it goes out there and repeats that same sentence at the beginning. McKenna was arraigned earlier this week following an incident on the night of January 31st outside Doggy's Pub in downtown State College. Police say McKenna is accused of punching another male in the face twice, resulting in the victim suffering multiple jaw fractures, which later required surgery. Investigators allege that the assault stemmed from an exchange of words between the victim's group and the people whom McKenna was with. Upon further review of video evidence, prosecutors believe that McKenna, quote, did not act with the intent to cause serious bodily harm, nor did he recklessly act with extreme indifference to the value of human life. Thus, officials say that they will be withdrawing the aggravated assault charge against McKenna. And then you have yourselves the actual PDF file of the transcript over here. If we can open this, are we allowed to do that? I'm not too sure what's going on with these legal documents. Okay, for immediate release on February 4th, so 2 days ago, the State College Police Department filed a criminal complaint charging Gavin McKenna with felony aggravated assault, misdemeanor, simple assault, summary harassment, and summary disorderly conduct. The complaint alleges that the victim was punched twice on the right side of his face by the defendant following an exchange of words between the alleged victim's group and the group of people with Gavin McKenna. The complaint further alleges that the victim sustained fractures to both sides of his jaw, which would require surgery, and that he was missing a tooth. Interesting. So that actually does not align with the report that we had seen earlier, the anecdotal evidence from the person that said that the guy lost 3 teeth instead of 1 tooth. Anyways, follow-up by the State College Police has confirmed that the victim suffered 2 fractures to one side of his jaw and that he is not missing a tooth. Okay, interesting. The guy is not missing a tooth. He's not missing 3 teeth like that initial text exchange implied that he was. The PDF file says here that the victim had surgery and he is recovering. In order to establish probable cause for the crime of aggravated assault, the Commonwealth must establish that a person acted with the intent to cause serious bodily injury or acted recklessly under circumstances showing an extreme indifference to the value of human life. Both the District Attorney's Office and the State College Police Department have reviewed video evidence of the incident and do not believe that a charge of aggravated assault is supported by the evidence. Accordingly, the District Attorney's Office will be withdrawing the felony count of aggravated assault and correcting the record regarding the injuries suffered by the victim. A review of the video does not support a conclusion that McKenna acted with the intent to cause serious bodily injury or with reckless indifference to the value of human life. So essentially, from the wording of how they put this together, it's like, in order to be charged for aggravated assault, you kind of need to go out there and act in a way that can potentially kill somebody. And it doesn't seem like Gavin McKenna did that. He clocked the dude twice, and based off of the apparent circumstances of what went down, if everything that we had seen is 100% true, maybe not the how many teeth the guy is missing part, but all the other pieces of information. And if all the people that are involved in making this decision were able to see that specific evidence, if it was true that the guy was calling out McKenna's mom, if it's true that he was maybe pushing McKenna's mom, if McKenna was trying to go out there and just defend the people that he was with, then I think it is reasonable for people to look at that and say, okay, well, it's not like he was going out there and acting in a way that was recklessly indifferent to the value of human life. If anything, you could say he was defending another human life. But anyways, semantics aside, you can throw whatever labels you want on how this should be perceived and what this actually is. It is apparent, however, that for immediate release, it does seem like the situation is not as bad as it may have been reported to have been just a few days ago. You hear, Gavin McKenna, the first overall pick, was charged felony, aggravated assault. It's like, that's terrible. But now we get some more information, we get this ruling, and it's like, maybe it wasn't that bad. I don't know. This is the final paragraph in the PDF file. It is important to remember that these charges are an accusation and not proof of guilt. In all cases, a defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. Prosecution will go forward with the misdemeanor simple assault and other summary charges as they relate to the serious injuries suffered by the victim. And I just wanted to say this as well, not trying to dance on anybody's grave, not trying to place myself in a morally superior place, not trying to place myself in a physically or a mentally superior place than the dude that did ended up getting those injuries. But I don't want to go out there and show y'all, but I'll just say this, my own personal opinion here. The guy who ended up getting clocked, there were some people on social media kind of posting the guy's face around and showing pictures of him and whatever. Just from my own personal opinion, if that actually is the guy that did get punched, seems like he had it coming. I don't know, man. I don't know. Gavin McKenna looks like he's going to get charged for other stuff, but this is the way that it was ruled so far. Felony aggravated assault charge has been dropped. That up to 20 years in prison is now lower. I don't know what the real number is now. If you take a look at all the other stuff that he had, misdemeanor and whatnot. Let's go out there and read the rest of that article on the website. According to court records, McKenna is still facing a misdemeanor charge of simple assault, as well as summary offenses for harassment and disorderly conduct. The 18-year-old is projected to be the number 1 pick at this year's NHL Draft. However, it is unclear how these changes will impact his draft stock or his availability to play at the next level. In a statement to 6 News, Penn State Athletics confirmed that the university is aware of the charges, but they would not comment further. It is also unclear whether or not McKenna may face any punishment from the team or the NCAA. And I do think that is one of the more important parts as well, that people were kind of wondering about. Hey, is Gavin McKenna going to get kicked out of college? If he ends up getting, worst case scenario, a whole bunch of stuff slapped to his wrist because of this, legally, is that going to hold him back from legally being able to enter the U.S. to play professional sports? Is that going to be a long-term thing? Is that even a possibility here? If anybody smarter than me wants to let me know in the comments if that is the case, then hey, feel free to do so. The comment section is your floor. But for now, this Gavin McKenna update, if you're on the McKenna first overall train and you're a Canucks fan, you'd probably like this news a lot. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The felony charge against Gavin McKenna has been withdrawn. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.